Morning everybody, I hope you're having a lovely morning and you're up bright and breezy. It's raining, it's been raining all night, unbelievable. But I suppose we need the rain for the plants and keep everything on the reservoirs filled. Obviously we went through a period of time there where we weren't getting any rain at all, and the water was coming through murky through the pipes. I think the reservoirs were running dry. Scottish Water was getting a wee bit worried. So day 14 of my property journey. Got a lot of other days to go. Hope I don't bore you to tears. And what I've learned and what I've done. So this was about 20 years ago, I remember, and I still have this property today. And geez, this is an interesting story, I'll tell you. This taught me a lot of lessons. I remember having a fire in the property actually. Again, it's all about cover. The guy claimed that his daughter got up in the middle of the night. Morning, Jimmy. His daughter got up in the middle of the night and switched on the chip pan and set the kitchen on fire. Whether that's true or no, and whether he fell asleep drunk, I don't know. But the great thing was, again, I had the right insurer. I was covered. And that's the importance of making sure you've obviously got the right insurers. This same property today has actually been unoccupied for the last 2 years, and I've still been getting rent paid on it because I've got the right insurer. And it's a dispute over the roof. Apparently the titles weren't set up properly, and I have no liability for the roof, although I want to pay a quarter, so I'm happy to do that. But the guy upstairs has got 50% liability to the roof and he can't afford to do it. So we're going to have to work out some kind of way for him to do it, and the council's involved. They want to put something together to do what they call as a mandatory repair, where the council come in and do it and bill everybody. I'm quite happy to do that as long as it's done, because then I get the property back. I want to rent it. I don't want to sit and take the insurance money. But the great thing is I'm insured for it, and that's the most important point, I would say. That's the importance of having the proper insurance for your property and making sure that you're covered. The story that I remember the most about this property, I remember putting this guy in, and it was probably about 20 years ago in the early days, and this teaches me a lot of lessons. And he phoned me up one day and he was terrified in his voice. And he said, Jim, I'm needing to go, I'm needing to get away, I'm needing to move. What's up? And he says to me, there was a guy that turned up last night with a gun at my window, threatening me. What? Sorry? What did you say? Double take. A guy, he turned up with a gun and he was threatening me. And it's a guy I know, and he knows now where I live and everything like that. Well, you're joking. What's this guy's name? Do you know him? And he mentioned his name, and I thought, wait a minute. I met that guy yesterday, looking for a property from me. And I went white. I remember thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Because I've offered him the property. Eek. And he had his partner, and I tell you what, it was like butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. This is the importance of making sure you're referenced. This is why I say to people when they say I'm a private landlord, I'm thinking you don't know what you've got yourself into. You want to be an investor and let us do the hard work, because we know all the pitfalls and what to do with everything. Anyway, that's by the by. So morning Derek. So I was gobsmacked. This guy was the same name as the other boy, and what I had remembered from the other day was he was actually asking me about this guy that lived in my property. And I think I let it slip subconsciously that, because he says, oh, I see he lives up at so-and-so. And I thought, yeah, aye, that's right. Because I thought, and now in hindsight, I think he was just testing me to find out where he lived. Hence the reason why he turned up that night with a gun at his window. So we're able to circumvent that, and that's why when people say they're a private landlord, it's like, I give a wee chuckle and think, it's not as easy as you think. You probably want to be an investor and let us do the job for you. So I managed to say, look, sorry pal, you're no moving in, but I'm not going to tell you what I did and what I said, because that's obviously kept for our customers, and we still use techniques like that today. So we avoid conflict and we don't have confrontation with anyone. I think that's the most important thing. We don't have confrontation with anyone. That's not the way forward to do everything. So I think that's the lessons I've learned off of that. one of the other wee lessons I learned, I was thinking about it this morning, and it's amazing, and I'll talk about self-entitlement, how people think they're entitled. It was the other day I was out walking and I said to someone, they said, how are you getting on with your business and how's it going and all the rest of it. And I said, what I did say to them was, I'm still working. I've never been furloughed. I've just been working constantly at the kitchen table since the beginning of April, since it says that's it, you're on lockdown. And I've just been producing content, media, marketing, virtual viewings. We've been selling properties, believe it or not, without actually people seeing them, and getting offers and negotiating in the background. We were all set up for this, but she said, but that's because it's your business. And I thought, no, it's no. You know, I've thought about this all the time. A lot of people say this to me, that's because it's your business. It's like, all right, okay. So I'll make more an effort for myself than I will make for my boss. And I've never been taught like that. I was taught by Dave Butler and Jerry Scriven and Bernie D'Souza. And I remember them saying to me is, you want to give as much time and effort and importance to your boss as you do for yourself. You want to leave a position and leave a job where the boss thinks, my God, I wish he was still here, rather than, my God, thank God he's away. And that's what rings true with me about self-entitlement. It's, if you think you'll give more for yourself than you will for your boss, then for me it's no the right way. It's you want to leave everything on the table and then some, because that's what then sets you up for the future in your own business, because you've got that mindset and you've got that mentality. I think that's what I've learned out of that. Beaufort Group, I remember working for them, and I remember phoning up the financial director, and I put him over a barrel. Here's a classic. I put him over a barrel. I said, I want this, or I'm not going to work for you anymore. And I remember Clive having the discussion. It was Clive Gillum, was the financial director there. And Clive says, look, Jim, you're in the position to be a financial director eventually of the company. I was a financial controller at the time. And he says, you know, you've got to win people over to your way of thinking in terms of what you do and how you do it. And it never resonated with me until, you know, probably about 10, 15 years ago, about what it is and what that means. Because at the time I thought, well, I just want more or I'm off. And it means really, you've got to be on the same page as everybody else, and you've got to have them on the same page as you to pull in the same direction. And if you don't have that, you've not got anybody. You're on your own. You're running everything yourself. So it's a team effort to achieve a common purpose. I think Joe Strummer speaks about that. Without people, you're nothing. He was in the Clash. That's what his phrase was. I heard that at Glastonbury actually, which is Glastonbury weekend. I hope you're enjoying yourself Glastonbury weekend. I was sitting in my tent yesterday at the back garden, listening to Ed Sheeran. How sad is that? Closing my eyes and pretending I was at Glastonbury in my tent. And that's the thought I'll leave you with today. If you're having a great time, get your tent out, sit in the back garden in the pouring rain, and put on some tunes and pretend you're at Glastonbury. See you later. Bye.